I'm Amelia and welcome to my channel Sew Amelia. This week I'm going to be sharing a little bit of a chatty sewing catch-up. Where have I been, what have I been sewing and doing over the last couple of weeks, so I do hope you'll stick around. I'll give a bit of a life update at the end of the video and I'll start off with what I've been sewing and what I've been buying recently. So to begin the video, I'll just share about what I'm wearing today. It's one of our busy after school days. I'm just wearing a very easy and casual outfit with ready-to-wear jeans and a ready-to-wear turtleneck that I've had for years. And then over the top, I've just popped my Heather blazer by Friday Pattern Company. I really love this blazer. It's so easy to just pop on and go, and a great just extra layer. It's actually a beautiful day outside today. We've got blue skies and sunshine. It's crisp and cold, but the blue skies have just given a much needed boost after a week of rain and grey skies. So it's lovely to see them today, and this is what I have been wearing for a day of mumming. So I'll just pop this off now because it's quite warm inside. The lining, which you've just seen a flash of there, is actually a dead stock fabric that I found on eBay. So you'll see it's just like a lovely sort of golden yellow colour with these flowers on it. I love the wee pops of colours from the flower, and I love just having a different lining in there. I'm not sure that's still available, but the outer itself is from Minerva, so I'll try and link that in the description box below along with the pattern, but I suspect the lining is no longer available, sadly. So I'm going to start the video by sharing what I've been making recently. Now I have been busying myself with Christmas makes. Now that's partly because of the great Gift November challenge currently being run by Alison and Adam, and I'll link their channel and their challenge below in the description box. I would love to have something to enter for that challenge over on Instagram on, I think it's the 30th of November. Now if you've watched my recent video about my Joann's trip, I bought this fleece fabric for my son. He chose it whilst we were in Joann, and he had lots of different ideas, perhaps a jumper, but what he really wanted actually was just a nice cozy blanket to put on his bed or to wrap himself up with on a Saturday morning when it's cold on the couch reading a book. So all I did was buy some sort of satin bias tape, and I've just simply edged the fabric with that. Now it was cut on a little bit of a slant, but I just didn't worry about that too much. I wanted to use up all the fabric. This is definitely a zero waste pattern. All I did, like I say, was run that bias tape along all of the edges. I managed to curve those corners nicely, and that will be wrapped up ready to go under the tree for his present on Christmas Day morning. So very quick, very easy project. That's done and dusted for him, and I'm just working on the second blanket for his brother. They're both very into Pokemon right now, and I'm sure if one has a Pokemon blanket, the other one would like one too. So I have finished one, and now I'm working on the other one. The other Christmas present I've been sewing briefly before I get into what garments I've been making are these bowl cozies. Now we love a bowl of soup and a bowl of porridge, not obviously in the same meal, in our house, and so these bowl cozies come in really handy, especially in the winter months when you're having lots of soup and porridge. We also like using them in the summer for a bowl of ice cream to keep your hands from getting too cold. So they are dual purpose, multi-seasonal makes. I really love this pattern. It's got a lovely sort of quilting lines on the inside. I used a contrast fabric on the outside and then just a plain cotton on the inside, and I've just made a few of these for my children actually just to pop in their stockings. I have one for me and my husband that I made us last year, but the children have always asked for their own bowl cozies, so now they've got those. So you'll see here I have a little stack of cozies. The top one is my daughter's. These are just some So Hailey Jane fat quarters that I had, unicorns and purple multicoloured deliciousness there for her. So yes, a little stack of bowl cozies. They come together really quickly. The only thing you obviously need to watch out with those is that you're using a fully cotton fabric, that you're using cotton wadding in the middle of them and cotton thread, so that they don't burn in the microwave. But a great functional present for my children, and I think they'll be quite excited about those in their stockings as well. Maybe we'll have to have soup on Boxing Day so they can test them out. So the garment that I've been making is the... hang on, let me grab the pattern. I always tidy up after a project and I didn't realise I didn't have this out. But it is the Nomi ME 2016 dress, which I'm sure you've all seen on Instagram. I talked about this a while ago actually. I think I bought this back in the summer but didn't get a chance to make it up. I absolutely love this pattern and have done since I first saw it. It's by Beauté J'adore, and she has a full sew along on her channel. I didn't use that because the instructions actually for this were fine. I do come out as a size 14 I think on these patterns, but they do have the finished garment measurements on the pattern pieces themselves, and I think I actually sized down to a 10. I really wanted that bodice to be nicely fitted. These sleeves are just divine. I absolutely love those sleeves. I think I'll possibly put them on other bodices as well. I wondered about making the peony dress with these sleeves. Actually, I think that would look gorgeous. I also really love these curved lines here where the skirt attaches to this first tier of the skirt. It's so pretty, and it was really interesting to sew up actually. I loved the way this one came together with the pockets and the curved seam line. I'm definitely going to be making more of the ME 2016 pattern, probably for the summer now. But there are a few reasons why I need a little black dress in my life at the moment. And when I saw this stretch cotton sateen fabric on New Craft House, I thought that that would be a great fabric to use. I am singing in a choir at the moment. We've got a concert coming up for which I need a black dress, and I just thought the sheen of this fabric made it a really good dress for a concert. Now, because it has that slight stretch, I didn't worry too much about sizing down to the 10, partly because I'd seen the finished garment measurements, partly because this fabric does have a little bit of stretch to it. Now, I'd seen various tips and tricks about sewing with stretch cotton sateen, many of which said you didn't actually need to use a stretch sewing needle. Now, I did lots of trying out different stitches and things on my machine before I sewed this up, and I definitely needed to use a stretch needle to sew this fabric up. It just didn't sew properly with a regular needle, and it sewed up beautifully with a stretch needle. So just a public service announcement to always test your fabric before you start sewing, and I'm really glad I did. It has turned out beautifully. I actually wore it out on my birthday dinner with my husband when we went out for a fancy meal, and it just felt beautiful. I did make the full length dress, which I think is meant to be sort of a mid-axi length, but it definitely is quite full length on me. So I might shorten the skirt next time. It does take up a rather lot of fabric, and there is a lot of gathering in this dress. If you're not a fan of gathering, it may not be the dress for you, but it does just look so beautiful on. I'm really, really pleased with it, and as I say, I can definitely see more of this pattern being made up in the future. It's really easy to wear as well, and I love the big deep pockets. So since I last did a little chatty sewing catch up, I have bought a little bit more fabric. Now, this fabric was actually on order the last time I shared a chatty sewing catch up, because I did order the seasonal box from Hey Sew Sister. I absolutely loved the summer box, and there's something nice about a little surprise box of fabric and patterns and haberdashery showing up on your doorstep. It's like a little present. And you don't exactly know when the seasonal box is coming out or going to be sent, so it's just a lovely surprise. And this month it is this gorgeous brown gingham fabric with these little blue prints on it. It says croissant, there's a little sort of a basket and a newspaper, all sorts of little pictures on here that Georgie's drawn herself. So it's a really, really cute fabric, and it also came with these gorgeous croissant buttons that Georgie has designed and had made herself, which was so cute. And then it also came with a pattern, which was a blouse that I hadn't heard of before by I think Madswick Pattern Company. Yes, it's the Raider blouse. Now actually I was so excited to get this pattern. It is one that I've looked at making before. I think it's a beautiful blouse, and I love the style lines on the blouse of this sort of bodice. It's very sort of Edwardian, I think. I love the smocked version as well, although I think I would probably change how that's done a little bit so I could actually properly smock that. However, I am not sure that this colour really works close to my face. I think it definitely washes me out. I'm not really a brown girl, but I do love the fabric, and what I can see it becoming actually is a skirt. So I absolutely love the skirts by Horror Vacui. I think that's how you say it, I'm not entirely sure. I love all of the pin tucks and the scalloped hem and all of those details. I also love the way that they are gathered into a flat waistband. I don't really do elastic waistbands, I don't find them very comfortable, but I do love those skirts, and I love the fullness of the skirt with all of those gathers. And I think that this fabric would work really well as a skirt with lots and lots of pin tucks, because these little pictures are so small. I think that they would be fine on the top of the skirt, and then you just get all those little pin tucks at the bottom with the scalloped hem. I think that could look lovely. So Georgie has sent 3 meters of fabric. Now I think that would be plenty for a skirt like that, even with all those tucks and a scalloped hem. I think that would give a beautiful fully gathered skirt. So I think that's my plan with that one. Should be quite straightforward to put together, and I think it would look really cute in the winter with black boots and a black turtleneck. So I'm thinking about putting that one together soon-ish. Might be a Christmas holiday make, because that one would be quite straightforward to do with the children at home underfoot, because putting in pin tucks is pretty straightforward. Not the most interesting of tasks, but one I can definitely do whilst the children are running around at home. Now the next fabric was one I also got from the New Craft House. They had a drop of Liberty dead stock pattern fabric, and this is a really interesting, almost a brushed cotton twill, and it's got this beautiful design on it with lots of different London landmarks and pretty flowers and things on it. And I thought that would make a really beautiful, perhaps a little summery pinafore or skirt for my daughter in the summer. So that one's going to go straight away in the box of summer fabrics. I'm not going to be making that up now, even though it's a brushed sort of cotton twill. I don't really feel like that's a wintry fabric with all those lovely spring flowers on it. So that one will definitely be going away, perhaps, like I say, for a little pinafore dress for her for the summer. Now, you know my love of Belle & Boo fabrics. I have worked with Belle & Boo before in the past. I bought this with my own money because I cannot resist their fabrics. I love the vintage illustrations. Oh my goodness, can you see that border print at the bottom? Isn't that delightful? I love this deep green colour. It really suits my daughter, and it's got these little pops of a light, almost bluish green here, and then these gorgeous little animals and children across the bottom picking mushrooms and all sorts. I love it. It's actually a collaboration with Michael Miller. I just couldn't resist. So I have bought 3 meters of this because what I would love to do is over the Christmas holidays to smock a little wintry dress for my daughter with lovely long sleeves, and I think this would just look beautiful smocked up, possibly in this sort of lighter blue colour for a lovely winter dress. So that's the plan for this one, and I think that will happen over the Christmas holidays as well. I just find with the children around, it's winter, it's cold, we spend quite a lot of time indoors playing board games, watching movies, and then going for lovely wintry park walks. So to be able to pick up something like this and just do a few rows of smocking whilst they're playing or whilst we're playing a board game is a really nice project to just have on hand. I love hand sewing, and I love just having something to do with my hands when the children are playing. So that's going to go on the Christmas make list, which is just getting longer and longer. We'll just see how all of these projects go. It is such a busy time of year. The other fabric that I have bought recently is this one. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm so excited about this fabric. I'm actually terrified to cut into it, if I'm quite honest with you, because it's so beautiful. It's quite a, what is it called? Let me see. It came from Fabric Godmother, and it is called a jacquard. I thought it might be something, I thought it might be called something else, but it is just a jacquard. It's a navy jacquard, and I did see this initially at the Knitting and Stitching show at the Maison Fauve stand, and I was kicking myself later that I didn't buy some from them there because it is so beautiful. But I did need to think about it a bit because it's not the cheapest fabric. It is beautiful though, and I treated myself to it as a birthday present, and what I want to make from this jacquard is actually a Maison Fauve pattern, and it is this jacket here, which is called the Metropolis jacket. I think it has quite a Chanel look to it, and I think in this fabric it's just going to look beautiful. Again, I think this is one I'm going to be leaving at the moment. I can't see myself wearing this in the winter, so I think I will be just waiting for the spring to sew this one up. They did have it with matching shorts actually in this jacquard at the Knitting and Stitching show, and it just looked incredible. So we'll see if I have time to get it sewn up before the spring, but with that lovely stack of Christmas projects that I've got on the go now, I'm not sure. And there are still some autumn projects I haven't got to yet, so the list just keeps growing, and there isn't enough time for all of the sewing that I would love to be doing. So I think I'm going to have to be good and put this on hold until the spring, but I'm really excited to get this made up in the jacquard. Like I say, that was from Fabric Godmother. I will link it in the description box if there is any left. So what am I working on currently? There are a few works in progress this week. Now, I was extremely lucky for my birthday. I did get the cover stitch machine I was talking about. Now you're going to have to wait to find out which one I was gifted, but let's just say my husband was very kind, and David Drummond was incredible. He was recommended on Sew Like Dottie's channel by Alison. She recommended David Drummond and his sewing machine shop up in Scotland, in Edinburgh I believe. And so I used his website. I gave him multiple calls to ask for lots of advice about the different cover stitch models that they have in stock, and he was ever so patient and talked me through all of the pros and cons of the different machines that I had been researching. So I'm so grateful to him and to my husband, but I do now have a gorgeous cover stitch machine. It is still in the box because I'm a bit scared of it. but I am determined to get it out of the box in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to film an unboxing for you. And what I thought I would do when I film the unboxing is try and give it a go with a project. Now I want to get my children's Christmas pyjamas all sewn up and ready for them to open on St. Nicholas Day on the 6th of December. So what I'm going to do is use the cover stitch machine to do all of the hems on those. Now the trousers of the Happy Holiday pyjamas, which is the pattern I like to use, it's a lovely free pattern, I'll link it below. They don't have cuffing on them, which is what my children prefer anyway, so that will be a good opportunity to hem those pyjama trousers on my machine. And then I make for my daughter the Bellamy nightgown, which has elastic cuffs, and it has, obviously the skirt needs hemming as well. So I've got 3 jersey pyjama sets to make, and I figure that would be a good place to start on my cover stitch machine. Now I have bought the Stitch Sisters cover stitch course, which has been fantastic. I've just been watching bits and pieces of that here and there. Such a great course. It's definitely given me the confidence that I need to get that out of the box and start sewing with it. So if you've got a cover stitch machine that's still in its box, I can definitely recommend that course to give you the confidence to get it out and try it out. Not that mine's out of the box yet, but that's just a time issue. We've been so busy. So that's what I'm hoping to share with you soon, is the unboxing of the cover stitch machine and my pyjama making. So do stay tuned for that video. But the other thing I'm working on at the moment is this dress. Now it's a Simplicity S9700, which I'm very aware is a jumpsuit pattern. But what I'm doing is I'm making the top of this with the long sleeves, so probably this version over here, and then I'm just attaching a gathered skirt. Now this was inspired by a beautiful dress by Aline, which is just gorgeous, but the fit does not work on me. It's too boxy up the top, the waist doesn't fit me, and then the skirt is just too long. So I did go and try it on, because obviously I love to support smaller brands, but it just didn't work for my particular body shape. So I thought I would give it a go and see if I could make a version of it myself that works for my particular body shape. So this pattern looked really close in terms of the same bodice design, and I have started sewing that up, so I've not got very far, really not got very much to show you. I have put the pockets on the 2 different bodice pieces, that's it. But I have got the zip ready, I've got all of the bits cut out, and hopefully I'll get some sewing time and be able to put that together, because I really need a few more autumn and winter dresses in my wardrobe. Some of the ones that I've sewn over the last 2 or 3 years are just getting worn out. I do wear and wear and wear my clothes. Some of them are just getting too worn out, so I do need to replace those, and I think this one will work really well in my autumn and winter wardrobe, with boots and a cozy thermal underneath obviously, and some lovely tights or leggings. So I'm really looking forward to getting that finished off. So that's what I've been making and buying, and my current works in progress, or my plans. And the last thing I'd like to share in my chatty sewing catch up is a bit of a life update. I did miss last Saturday's video. There is just a lot going on at the moment for our family. Lots of things going on in our wider family. The children themselves are very busy with preparations for Christmas at school, and I just could not get a minute to myself last week to film or edit a vlog. So I do apologise, but at the same time, family comes first, and the time that I did have last week, I just needed to be up in my sewing room doing some sewing. I'm sure this is like many of you, but sewing is definitely my mental health break, and when these weeks get so busy and a bit overwhelming, I just need to be able to come up to my sewing room and shut the door and have an hour or so of quiet time being creative and doing something with my hands, which is just such a good form of self-care for me. So that is why our video did not go out last week, and if I'm honest, they may be a bit more sporadic over the next month or so as the children go on holiday and things get busy with them. We've got lots of lovely Christmassy activities planned, and video making may be halted for a little bit as we spend time together as a family. But I will be trying to get out a few videos here and there. There are obviously so many lovely creators doing Vlogmas, so I don't think there'll be a lack of sewing videos out here on YouTube. But regular sewing content from me will definitely resume in January, and until then I'll put out as many videos as I can. So lastly, I thought I'd share a couple of sewing vloggers that I've been enjoying watching. The first is Seamstressed Ruth. She is a new sewing vlogger, and I have really enjoyed her first couple of videos. She has beautiful fabrics that she works with, and I really enjoyed listening to her talk about her Bakerloo dress hack. She changed the style of the dress part of the Bakerloo dress, and I really enjoyed seeing and hearing how she did that. The other vlogger I've been watching is Made by Karen Marie. Now she has quite a few videos, again, beautiful makes, beautiful fabric choices, and I really enjoyed her latest video, which was all about her gift to November ideas. So if you don't follow either of those two vloggers, do go and give them a watch, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I have been enjoying them. Right, that's it from me for this week. I'm going to go off and try and get this edited in time to pop it up for you on Saturday morning. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I have been buying and making. Not as much as usual, but that's the nature of life in December, I think, for all of us. Thank you again for watching. Do give the video a like if you enjoyed watching it, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do click the subscription button below. It's free, and if you click on the notification bell beside it, that just lets you know when I have released a new video so that you can come online and give it a watch. I hope you have a lovely week ahead full of lots of happy sewing and fabric buying, because that's fun too. And I will see you soon. Cool.